Hello, I'm Hörst of trainingforclimbing.com, and in this video I'm going to show you an effective 10-minute training sequence for strengthening the small but important muscles of the rotator cuff. The rotator cuff is arguably the most stressed group of muscles in the body of a climber. While the forearms get all the attention in climbing training, the rotator cuff and scapular stabilizers are the real heroes as you power up a difficult boulder problem or send a long, pumpy route. In particular, climbing on overhanging walls with occasional dynamic moves challenges the rotator cuff muscles to keep the humeral head in its place. Not surprisingly, shoulder injuries are increasingly common. In fact, a recent study of climbing injuries by Dr. Volker Schoeffel documents that the shoulder is the second most common site of injury among climbers, with finger tendon pulley injuries being number one. Anyway, if you want to train hard and climb your best while reducing your injury risk along the way, then it's essential that you are proactive in training the rotator cuff. The following sequence of simple dumbbell exercises will target each of the four muscles that comprise the rotator cuff: the supraspinatus, the infraspinatus, the teres minor, and the subscapularis. Okay, so let's get started. First, we're going to do a 2-minute dynamic warm-up before we lift any weights. Begin with a light resistance band and do a variety of movements including shoulder flexion, extension, abduction, and internal and external rotation. Spend about 1 minute working through a variety of these movements. Next, I recommend performing a few gentle stretches of the rotator cuff muscles. Two of my favorites are the behind the back internal rotation stretch performed with a stick or rolled up towel, and the door stretch, which also lengthens the commonly tight pectoral muscles. Spend at least 30 seconds on each stretch, and remember to alternate arms with the behind the back towel stretch. Now let's move on to doing some targeted strength training of the four muscles that comprise the rotator cuff. I'm going to show you 5 simple dumbbell exercises, the goal of which is to develop strength endurance, not maximum strength. So we're not going to lift any heavy weights here. That's not necessary for this group of muscles. For most folks, all you need is a pair of 5, 10, and 15-pound dumbbells. In doing each exercise, select the weight that allows you to do around 20 repetitions. First up is standing external rotation. With your arms bent at 90 degrees in a goalpost-like fashion, lower the dumbbells until your forearms are parallel to the ground, and then return to the upright position. Continue at a moderate pace for 20 repetitions. Next up, we're going to target the external rotator muscles from a lying on your side position, which is even better for isolating the infraspinatus and teres minor muscles. Place a rolled up towel under your elbow, and with your arm bent at 90 degrees, lift the dumbbell from your belly upward, but stop just short of the forearm reaching the vertical position. Continue for 15 to 20 repetitions, being sure to keep your elbow locked down on the towel throughout the range of motion. The third exercise in the sequence is the reverse fly. To get in the best position, you'll need to brace against a bench or chair so that you can bend at the hips enough to lower your torso to near horizontal. Now, lift the dumbbell out to the side, maintaining a nearly straight arm. Pause at the top for 1 second, then return to the starting position. Continue for 15 to 20 reps. Be sure to maintain a straight back and tight core throughout, and at the top position, think about pulling your scapula in towards the spine. Next up is dumbbell scaption, also known as the full can exercise. Stand with a slight bend in your knees and hips and a fully engaged core. Hold a dumbbell in each hand with your palms facing each other. Now, lift your arms up the scapular plane, that is, about 30 to 45 degrees out from midline, and ascend slowly until the dumbbells reach shoulder level. Pause here for a second, and then return to the starting position. Continue for 15 to 20 repetitions. You'll discover this is a surprisingly difficult exercise, so you'll likely need only a light weight, between 3 and 10 pounds at most. The fifth and final exercise in this sequence is internal rotation. Now, climbers tend to be quite strong at internal rotation, especially when the lat muscles of the back can contribute to the movement. So with this exercise, we'll isolate the subscapularis muscle by training internal rotation from a sideline position. While you can perform this exercise laying on the floor, using a bench allows a slightly larger range of motion. Begin with your forearm in a vertical position across your belly and slowly lower the dumbbell until your forearm is parallel to the ground. Stop here and immediately lift the dumbbell back to the starting position. Continue for 20 to 25 repetitions, being sure to keep your elbow locked in place against the bench and tucked in by your side throughout the range of motion. Okay, I just showed you 5 dumbbell exercises that you can run through in about a total of 4 minutes. I recommend repeating this cycle a second time, which of course will take another 4 minutes. These 8 minutes of training on top of the 2 minutes of dynamic warm-up makes for an excellent 10-minute rotator cuff training routine. Do this 3 times per week and you'll be on your way to becoming a stronger, more injury-resistant climber. A final note, if you're currently experiencing any shoulder pain, then I strongly recommend seeing a good physiotherapist or sports medicine professional for accurate diagnosis and exercise prescription. Remember, you only get one set of shoulders and they have to last you for a lifetime of climbing, so take care of them. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share it with a friend, and don't forget to click the button to subscribe to the Training for Climbing channel. Until next time, happy training!